Hello, hello, hello. How are we doing today? My name is Spectrum Dominus, and I will be breaking for you this What's in the Box Wednesday, episode 37. We're doing the 1986 Topps Minis. Another box sent to us by Sugar White. Sugar White has sent us this box. They're shown actual size. They are mini cards. They're not like minis nowadays that are skinny, that we get out of like a legacy box or something. You know, they're not like the old, what are they called, cards, um, tobacco cards. Here, got one here. I don't know what it is. All right. But it's not like the old tobacco cards, but they're fatter and they're about the same height, but they're fatter, so they don't fit in those mini sleeves. So I have to put them in regular sleeves. But Sugar wants one card and one card only. It is just the Dale Murphy card. Aside from that, anything else I pull is the store's to keep or myself. But we'll see how many of these I actually keep. We'll separate them as if I'm keeping them, but I'm not sure I'm going to keep them. We'll see. But here we go. Let's get it going. What's in the Box Wednesday? Got my gloves on. You know what that's all about if you've been here before. If not, watch some of the earlier videos. All right, so it's just like a regular Topps box from back in the day, a wax box. You got all these packs. They're mini packs, tiny little packs. Um, we're gonna take two of these packs and put them to the side, one there, and then we'll take one of these from over here. I like to mix them up. And we're going to do those on Instagram. These will be kind of cool to open on Instagram. But there we go. There's our stack of mini cards. Kind of cute. So we're just going to separate them into 4 equal stacks here. Oh, I did that by feel and it was almost perfect. All right. So let's get this going. We're going to go 1986 Topps Glossy Minis. What's in the box? The cool thing about these minis is you'll see minis later in history, from Topps or even stuff like Legacy, like I talked about, where all it is a mini version of the card that existed. Not these 86 Topps. The 86 Topps set were these black bordered cards, had the team name written large across the top, whereas this set is a white Spring Fever baseball, white hazy. It's a different card. This had its unique. It had its own unique look to them, which that's one of the differences. By the time it got to 1990 minis and stuff like that, they were just reprinting the Topps cards at a smaller size. So that's what made these kind of cool. Brett Saberhagen, Dave Parker, Vince Coleman, Mike Smithson, Lance Parrish, and Eddie Murray. And yeah, I think I will collect those as soon as I get one of my guys. Yeah, I will collect that. If I pull a Don Mattingly, there's no world I'm sending it back. So, all right, Spring Baseball Fever. Here we go. We got a checklist, 1 through 66. Ron Guidry, Tim Rock Raines, Bert Blyleven, Bruce Hurst, and Daryl Evans. Man, after opening the last couple weeks, opening all these vending boxes, it's weird to be opening packs again. I just was taking out large stacks and thumbing through them. And they just end after 4 or 5 cards. How many cards per pack? 6 cards per pack. Right, so 6 cards per pack. They have a... I always found this to be a weird... Actually, that's not true. I nowadays find this to be a weird act just because of the price of things going up. To put the price of the pack on the pack, like they're determining the price of the pack. It's 25 cents for this pack of cards. If you try to buy this card in a shop, they got to put a little sticker over it that says $1 or whatever. Ricky Henderson, Tim Herr, Charlie Huff, Fernando Valenzuela, Doyle Alexander, and Steve Balboni. I should have looked that up after last week's conversation about the Brooklyn Brawler. You're like, what should you looked up? I should have looked up the Brooklyn Brawler's real name because it's close to Steve Balboni. Dwight Evans, Juan Samuel, Carlton Fisk, Earl Hershiser, Jimmy Key, Tom Browning. You know, I'm separating these cards like these are the ones I'm going to keep, but I've just gone through a whole transition on how I'm going to collect, and in doing so, I'm going to go through every card in the collection, both the store and my collection, to organize. So all this stuff's going to have to be gone through again anyway. It's kind of silly for me to be even worried about it. Pedro Guerrero, Toby Hara, Brett Butler, Jack Clark, Danny Cox, and Glenn Wilson. And yes, guys, you will be getting a video once I get myself. I'm spending my personal money buying buying supplies, top loaders and boxes and a shelving unit and getting one. And once I get myself all ready to start organizing and buying stuff for myself, I will do a video on how I've decided to collect. All right, Ryan Sandberg, John Tudor, Dwight Gooden, Cal Ripken, nice, and Bob Welsh, and Harold Baines. That's been one of the hardest things my whole life, even as a kid, is how do I want to collect? What path do I want to take? Who do I want to keep? Who don't I want to keep? You know. And I think I finally figured out something. It's still a lot. I'm still collecting a lot, but I won't be collecting everything anymore. And from there, it'll be easier to scale back a second time. It's kind of like going through your Facebook list and having 500 Facebook friends and wanting to get it down. And then you go through and cut and you're down to 325, but you decide you're going to do a second round of cutting to get yourself down to even less. People make it through the first time. That's what I'm doing. I'm cutting it down. I will be collecting this way for now until I determine which of these I don't really want to keep as well. Anyway, Ron Guidry, Tim Raines, that's a double. Bly Lemon, that's a double. Bruce Hurst and Daryl Evans is a double. Those are all doubles. That was a double pack. So in the comments down below, tell me how you collect. Tell me you put complete sets together. You only collect the rookies of the people on your team. What kind of different things could Don? There he is. There's my guy, Don Mattingly, followed by Dave Winfield back to back. Very nice. Very nice. I think I saw the back card here as one of my guys too. The guys I say in almost every video, I got a lot of guys. Doyle Alexander, there's the Brooklyn Brawler again. Walt Terrell, Dennis Boyd, Willie McGee, and Mike. Yep, I did see Mike Schmidt. Mike Schmidt is my third baseman, and we go through all these boxes, and the number of Schmidts I pull is so low. I know that he hung out until, you know, I know he's got cards in 88 tops. I know he's got cards. I know he retired shortly around that time, but most of these ones we're opening, there are Mike Schmidt cards, and I don't pull a lot of Mike Schmidt cards, so that's kind of cool. Sid Fernandez, there's another Don Mattingly and Dave Winfield. That's the same pack again. I'm going to pull those to the side just so I can judge which one has the better spacing. What's it called? Centering. All right, Spring Fever Baseball. We got Dwight Evans, Juan Samuel, Carlton Fisk. That's a dupe. These are all dupes. Jimmy Key is a dupe. Tom Browning. Not found a Dale Murphy just yet. The amount of dupes we're getting, which is a lot, and if I remember, the box said there's 66 cards. Yeah, the set only has 66 cards in it, and so 11 packs would be a full set's worth. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. So yeah, I had 4 stacks with 11 in them. Oh, there it is. Spoiler alert. Here we go. So the fact that we're getting doubles is not surprising. With one box, you probably have you have 4 sets worth of cards. So you could probably put together one set with, and maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll go ahead and put one set together, assuming I get a second Dale Murphy. George Brett, Charlie Lieberant, Gordon, and there he is, Dale Murphy. And I put the sleeves away, I guess. Oh, okay, put them here. Let's get that one sleeved. So he got himself a Dale Murphy. All right, good, nice. Got one. And yes, I think I should be able to put a full set together, and then sell on eBay or whatever. Nolan Ryan, Exosha, Jack Morris, Gary Carter, and Mario Soto. A lot of really cool, like a lot of these guys, and Gary Carter is a perfect example. I grew up watching and knowing him as one of, if not the best catcher in baseball at the time, him and Carlton Fisk. The end of Johnny Bench's career. Those are the guys that I grew up watching. But a lot of the cards I collect in the 90s, the 89, 90, 91, those things, these guys are closer to the end of their careers and they're on different teams. Like Gary Carter, last week we pulled a Gary Carter as a Giant, but I know him as a Met. And it's nice when I open these older cards and these guys are on the teams that I'm used to seeing them on. Ricky Henderson, who we pulled today, was a Yankee, but last week we pulled him. He was an Athletic, and Dave Winfield was an Angel. And it's like that's fine. There's nothing wrong with it, and I still collect those because those are my guys. But it's what I'm really liking about this set is opening cards where the guys I'm seeing are on the teams I remember them for, the teams that they're locked in as. They are a Met, even though Gary Carter spent a great portion, probably most of his career, as an Expo. I know him as a Met. So Keith Moreland, Britt Burns, Ricky Henderson. He spent a lot of his career all over the place and started as an A and went back to the A's. But I know him as a Yankee. Wade Boggs as a Red Sox, even though he went to the Yankees, he went to the Rays. He's a Red Sox to me. So, all right, we're about the halfway point, give or take. The stacks didn't look exactly the same height, but it didn't look like there was a way to shift them to make them the same height. So I just think that the slight bend in them is making one of them tall. So I couldn't tell exactly if they were right. But we've gone through, this is the last pack of stack 2. Rick Russell, Dave Stieb. There's so many doubles in this that they're going to give you the same card back to back. Brett Saberhagen, Dave Parker, and Vince Coleman. All right, let's go through the second half. Second half, we have Mike Smithson, Vance Parrish, Eddie Murray, Tom Herr, Charlie Hough, and Fernando Valenzuela. Now, the part about this that's going to get boring is we've got, about 16, 17 more packs to open, and I'm not sure there's any other cards we haven't already seen. We've probably seen every card in the 66 card pack. We've seen Tony Gwynn, Keith Hernandez, George Brett, Charlie Lieberant. I don't know if we saw Gorman Thomas, but there's another Dale Murphy, and this one looks like it's a better cut. So what we're going to do is we're going to pull this one out. I'm going to pull them together. You can see that the first one we got, the one in the back, is slightly more right. Not much, but it's slightly more right. There's more to this side. Visually, you can see, and it's probably more noticeable down here at the bottom by the glove that there's slightly more to that one. This one has a better centering, so we're going to slide that one in for Sugar. And now with that second Murphy, it means that I'm almost guaranteed to be able to put a whole set together. If not more than, well, can't do more than one without a third Murphy, but you know what I mean. Joaquin Andujar, Nolan Ryan, Mike Scioscia, Jack Morris, Gary Carter, and Mario Soto. And these packs are very regimented. I mean, it's the same 6 cards. Dale Murphy was, it even goes to the point where Dale Murphy was the last card in the pack both times. Gary Pettis, that might be new. Keith Moreland, I don't believe is. Britt Burns, Ricky Henderson, Wade Boggs, and Floyd Bannister. So I wonder if it's, Sugar didn't really tell me why Murphy. I wonder if it's just that he's the only star Brave he's a Braves guy. Or if, I mean, I know it's not his rookie. Lance Parrish, Eddie Murray, Tim Herr, Charlie Hook, and Fernando Valenzuela. Problem is, this is called What's in the Box Wednesday, and at this point, we know Mike Moore, Rick Russell, Dave Stieb, not 2 Dave Stiebs back-to-back this time, at least. Brett Saberhagen, Dave Parker, and Vince Coleman. All right, guys, we're going to speed this up, and the way we're going to speed this up is I'm just going to open them and put them down like this. We're not looking for anyone special. There's multiple ways to do pack openings. I know, even on breaks, I know people that do it this way, where they open all the packs and then go through the cards as a stack. We're going to do it this way for the remainder just because I don't believe there's anything new to see. You'll still be able to see the pack breakdowns because each one will have the Spring Baseball Fever paper there. And if we do special things like this, where there's 4 times as many cards in the box as there are in the set, we may just do it this way in the future from the get-go. But I'm not going to, when we're hunting, opening the pack is part of it. So when we're doing a regular box, like next week we're doing 1990 Dunross. When we do that, we will do the packs. So here we go. Final pack there. Now let's thumb through it real quick. All right. We've got Spring Fever as a checklist. Ron Guidry, Tim Raines, Burke Blyleven. Sorry guys for not turning off my I usually turn off my ringer and I forgot today. I will get that next week, I promise. Daryl Evans, Spring Break Fever, Ryan Sandberg, John Tudor, Dwight Gooden, Cal Ripken. A lot of really cool, the fact that these are 86 cards and there's some cool players in this, I wonder if there's any value to them. I will look that up too. Wade Boggs, Floyd Bannister, Mike Moore, Rick Russell, Mike Scioscia, Jack Morris, Gary Carter, Mario Soto, Gary Pettis, Keith Moreland, Britt Burns, Spring Break Fever, Mario Soto again, Gary Pettis again, Keith Moreland, Britt Burns, Ricky Henderson, Wade Boggs, Dwight Evans, Juan Samuel, Carlton Fisk, Mike Scioscia, Jack Morris, Gary Carter. I suspect there's not much value to them because you could buy one of these boxes for fairly inexpensive and get 3 or 4 of each of them. So, Willie Wilson, Sid Fernandez, Don Mattingly, Dave Winfield, Lonnie Smith, Ryan Sandberg, John Tudor, Dwight Gooden, Cal Ripken, Bob Welsh, Harold Baines, Spring Fever, Pedro Guerrero, Toby Hera, Brett Butler, Jack Clark, Danny Cox, Glenn Wilson, Spring Break, Doyle Alexander, the Brooklyn Brawler, Walt Terrell, Dennis Boyd, Willie McGee, Mike Schmidt, Mike Smithson, Lance Parrish, Eddie Murray, Tom Herr, Charlie Huff, and Fernando Valenzuela. All right, so we only got the 2 Dale Murphys, and one of those is Sugars. So we're only going to be able to put together 1 complete set because we didn't. Oh, yeah, 1 complete set, and that's fine. That's fine. I would have liked to get a second Dale Murphy, so we could have put together 2 complete sets if we could. But there we go. Sugar White gets his Dale Murphy. That's what he got the box for. It's the only one thing he was looking for, so that's good. Not much higher percentage than last week where he got 1 of 4 cards. But guys, thank you for watching. If this is your first time watching, go back and watch some of our earlier videos. We've got, this is episode 37, I think. So that means we have 36 before this, plus 5 or 6 special next level grading openings. Check that out. If you don't know what next level grading is, it's a grading service we use. We use PSA and next level grades depending on what we're looking for. If that's a whole nother story, you watch one of our other videos coming up, which we're going to do a lot with the grading after I get all this organized. But thanks. Click like and subscribe, and we will see you next week, episode 38, when we do Donruss 1990 Donruss Baseball. We've done this once before on the stream, What's in the Box Wednesday, but we didn't get what we wanted, so we're looking again for that. See you then.